This story happened when I was a junior in high school. I was a friendly, curious person. 1 month into the fall semester, we got a new transfer student. He looked nervous. Seated behind me was Joe. I, of course, introduced myself to him, trying to ease the tension. I showed him what we learned so far. I helped him look over his class schedule. We had 2 classes and a lunch period together. Naturally, we got to know each other and became friends. He's a quiet kid, but talked a lot around me. I assume he's just comfortable around me. I made it clear that we are just friends. He agreed. We started hanging out with my friends. Now fast forward to spring break. I told Joe I'm going out of town with my family. He seemed disappointed that we couldn't spend the break together, but he was understandable. I ran into Joe in a restaurant. I didn't tell him where I was going, so I thought, wow, what a coincidence. He said he was visiting a family in the same town. Now in senior year, Joe and I hang out at least once a week, then turned into 2, then into 3. I noticed we were spending too much time together. I want to make time for my other friends too. That's when things started to change. I ran into Joe, or should I say, I saw him in the corner of my eye when I spent time with someone else or by myself. He becomes obsessive and clingy. The first 2-3 times, I didn't think too much of it, but all became clear when I questioned him, and he accidentally said he followed me because he wanted to make sure I was safe. I feel betrayed and creeped out. He apologized and asked for forgiveness. I told him I didn't want to be friends anymore. He got angry and left. He didn't come to school for the next 2 or 3 days. My friends told me he harassed them for snitching on him. He came back to school. We pretended we didn't know each other. On my walk home, I hear Joe calling my name in a low and unfamiliar tone, but he was nowhere to be seen. I didn't know why, but my gut told me to run as fast as I can. I kept running until I got home. I made sure every door and window was locked. I'm convinced I was being paranoid at that point. Then my phone screen lights up. Joe repeatedly called me. Then I hear Joe calling my name again. He's in front of my house now, banging on the door. I called my dad and told him what happened. I pleaded to Joe to stop banging on the door. Everything went completely silent after 5 minutes, which feels like an eternity. The last word I heard from him: "You'll always be my best friend." This issue was brought to school, and Joe never showed up again. Now, 4 years have passed. Just a few days ago, I got friend requests on 2 of my social media. It was Joe. I blocked him and changed all my social media names to something else. I don't live in the same town, nor in the same country. I'm now on the other side of the world. I can't help but feel like a scared 18-year-old me again. I'm not the friendly person I once was. I've become cautious around other people. When I was 19 years old, I was looking for a room to rent in the city I was moving to for college. It was about an hour away from my family. I wasn't having much luck, and my mom started helping me look for a place. She found an ad on Craigslist for a room for $300 in a house, everything included. The homeowner was a man, and he rented the additional room upstairs to other women, while he lived in the finished basement. The ad stated he rarely ever saw the other roommates because he had a kitchen and his own entrance downstairs, and that he preferred women because he had issues with male roommates in the past, partying and causing damage. We decided to take a look, since it was the cheapest that we could find in the area. My mom and I went to the house to view it. Decent house, decent neighborhood. He opened the door and was very welcoming. He was middle-aged, and the kitchen and living room were furnished nicely and clean. My mom loves to talk and get to know people, so they were engaged in conversation while I stood there quietly and observed the place. He then said he would show me my room. We head towards the staircase to go up, as I thought, since he said on the phone my room was upstairs with the other roommates. But he opens another door and we follow. He takes us down to the basement and opens a door to a very small room. No closet, no windows. He proceeds to say this is my room, and I will be sharing the bathroom in the hallway with him. And his bedroom did not have a door on it. I was definitely thinking absolutely not, this is weird, but they were so deep in conversation that I couldn't interject. He then leads us to the upstairs and shows us the other rooms, which the doors were open, and says they are currently rented. He then starts telling us elaborate stories about the other women. Not very nice stories, describing drinking problems. My mom was listening intently, but I took the time to investigate further. I looked in all 3 rooms and the bathrooms. There was furniture, but not a single item in there that looked like it belonged to a woman. No clothes or anything, only men's clothes in one of the closets. He had no problem with me creeping around his tenants' rooms without their permission. I then heard him tell my mom that he has some of his stuff in their closets, but they don't mind. And I'm just like, why the hell would a tenant pay you for you to use their space as storage? I was feeling really uncomfortable and started moving them back downstairs as they talked. My mom had mentioned when we arrived that her and my dad were going on vacation the next week, but I couldn't go because I had to work. He brought it up again, and that I should come by the next week and have dinner with him and the roomies to see if we would all get along. I said sure, and we left. As soon as we got in the car, I told my mom I would definitely not be living there. She was dumbfounded. I had to explain to her not only did he lie about the room I would be in, that I was not supposed to be in the basement with him as well, as share a bathroom with him, and he didn't even have a damn door. But also, did she not notice how no one else even lived there? She still didn't get it and thought I was just being paranoid and thought he was nice and it was a cheap deal. I had to explain it to my stepdad and get him to tell her by no means would I be living there. I tried to report the post, but by the time we got home that day, he removed it. I think he planned on murdering me at dinner, or abducting me and holding me hostage in that basement room that had no way to escape. I hope that guy hits a tree with his car one day.